Hello everyone, welcome to the Resizing webinar. My name is Lori McNeely. I've been supporting Ultriva for more than 5 years, and also joining me is Nando Gopalan, and he has been supporting Ultriva from the beginning. We will go over a few FAQs. If you have a question, please use the question box, and we will try to go over them at the very end or as we go through the webinar. There is a section where you can type your question if you have that. And also, if I mentioned raising your hand, here's where you can find that raising your hand icon. And we will be recording this webinar. In fact, we are recording it right now. We will have it available on the help site for viewing in the future. Our next webinar will be in June. Next month in May, we do have the Ultriva Customer Conference, and we will not be having one next month. Also, we are doing these demos in version 7.5 and higher. Our agenda for the day is we hope you can learn the features of the resizing tool in Ultriva so that you can interpret those recommendations and better manage those parts that you have in Ultriva. We are going to have some surveys throughout this webinar. We will give you those results. First, we'll go over the various resizing methods. The first one is if you go to admin item and you're adding an item or you're editing an item and you save, you'll be prompted to resize the loop. You will see a Kanban calculator, very much like you see here. Another resizing method that we have is the auto resizing tool. That first one that I just mentioned, that's editing one item at a time. With this one, if you go to admin tools, Kanban, and then auto resize, you have several options for how you want to resize, and you can resize several parts at a time. And this is one of the ones that we will be going over in more detail today to explain the various features that are available here. A third resizing option is to do it through an item sync or a data load. There is a data load process. If you go to admin tools, data load, there is an item data load. And if you do a click here, you can download a sample file. It opens up in Excel with all the appropriate column headings, and afterwards you would enter your data there, and afterwards you would copy and paste that into a plain text document like for Notepad, and then save that and upload it. There are some configuration options if you choose to do this that you must have set in order for the resizing to occur, and we will be going over this a little bit later as well in the webinar on what those configuration settings are and how to make sure they're set accordingly. For the resizing, why you want to do that is to improve your velocity so that it matches your demand. You know, your demand may be seasonal, and you want to make sure that that's kept current and that you have the right safety stock. You should resize when some of your variables change, you know, like your safety stock, lead time, your demand, if it is indeed seasonal. If you're modifying a run line or adding another supplier, those are some other reasons for when you would resize. And how often should you resize? We get that question a lot. Ideally, you should do it every month or at least once every quarter. With the resizing option, so you would get here by going to Admin Tools and selecting the Auto Resize. You do have several options here on how you want to do the resize. The first one is using the historical consumption pattern for the specified date range. And you can, if your business is seasonal, you can pick the same time period for the previous year so that you can kind of project what might be happening. If you know across the board you're going to have a 15% increase in your business, you can also, or a decrease, you can also choose to do the resizing this way. Or the third option that we have, if your ERP is sending the gross requirements or the forecast, you can do a resizing based on that future demand for the date range. And after you've chosen how you want to calculate it, there are several filters that you can apply. You can to determine which data you want to display. You can select a particular supplier or product line or commodity code, item, or maybe you're the item coordinator and you only want to see your parts. You can filter by only your parts or the ABC code. After you choose your filter, if you leave it blank, it will show you all. After you choose that, you can choose which resizing recommendations you want to see. You can review all of them, or only ones where you're adding inventory, where there's no change. Not sure why you would necessarily want to view the ones with no change, but you could. If you want to reduce cards, you can show only the ones where you're reducing cards, or you can view all the cards, or sorry, all the items that have changes. So those are your sizing recommendations. Once you choose that, we have one more option to go over, and that is if you're adding cards, do you want to release those cards to your supplier? But we do recommend that you do check mark this so that any cards that you're adding do automatically get created and released to your supplier. Otherwise, they will be created on hand and you're going to have to go back and remember to release those. And if you go ahead and just check mark that, you're not even going to have to worry about it. And with that, we are ready to begin our demo. So I will come over here and we will click on Admin. And we are going to go to Tools, Kanban, and then Auto Resize. Okay, and so with this, we can choose the historical, based on our consumption pattern for a particular date range. Maybe we want to do the previous 30 days for last year. You could do that. Or if you know you're going to have an across-the-board increase or maybe decrease, you can select that. In this example, we are going to be going over the gross requirements, or what the future demand is going to be for the next month, because the ERP has sent this data and we have access to that. And with that, I am going to go ahead and pause this webinar because we had some technical difficulties earlier, and this was the part that was missed. And part 2 will continue pretty much right here where I have just left off. So thank you all.